Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
We're so thrilled to have on the show two-time Grammy Award-winning band Americana, roots, folk, however you want to try and classify them. Old Crow Medicine Show. We've got Ketch, we've got Mason, we've got Mike, Corey, and Morgan. And thanks for coming on the show, guys.
Hey. Honored to be here.
So we got to talk about this, the 16th annual New Year's party, 2 dates at the Ryman. Are you guys pretty excited about this?
Bringing in the new year in style. Wow, it's going to be fun.
And a few guests, I understand.
Well, we always try and, stack the deck a little bit on the last night of the year. Get to sort of do the whole Dick Clark thing and watch the ball drop, y'all.
It's got to be bigger also, 25th anniversary of Old Crow Medicine Show.
That's right. I mean, we've been tearing it up the roads 25 years, quarter century now.
Does that seem ridiculous? Because it does to me, because I remember when you guys hit the scene, and obviously a lot of our viewers, I'm sure, know from when, you guys were busking back in the early days, and then Doc Watson kind of discovers you.
Hard to believe that 25 years ago you could have tipped us $1 on Lower Broad, and look at us now.
You got your own studio, you got a new album, 2 dates at the Ryman, not one, because one was not enough.
Never enough. No, it's the best standing gig I think any band could ever have is New Year's at the Ryman.
But I mean, is it as good as like the Brooklyn Bowl? Because you get free bowling at the Brooklyn Bowl. I just,
Well, whether it's Roberts or Station Inn or D's, there are just so many wonderful live music venues here in Nashville. But there's one that outshines them all, and it's the Ryman Auditorium, y'all.
And I'm sure you guys feel the same too, because and certainly seeing your live show, you guys bring so much energy, all of you do, to this music. But the Ryman Auditorium, the sound quality, and certainly the history. We all know the history and everything like that. But with you guys, with the higher energy, Morgan and I were talking that you guys bring to these shows, it's got to be great being in the Ryman and hearing that resonance, and also with the sold-out audiences seeing you guys.
I feel really lucky to just be a part of a night that's worthy of celebrating, and it feels like everybody makes it an occasion, and we try to rise to it.
So, and once again, Morgan and I were talking earlier, any special instruments? I mean, are you guys going to are they going to be like throwing instruments to you like from the sides of the Ryman,
Eric, this year we're really focusing on the Juice Harp. 2024 is the year of the Juice Harp. So we'll be going
2, maybe 3 at a time.
Yeah, there could be 3.
Really?
If we
Like
get
a
some
trio.
of these fellas, some of the new guys, they're working on it. So
Right. And also working on not losing teeth while they do it, right?
Well, we got great dental insurance plans, thanks to our friends at the Grand Ole Opry.
Now, are these signature model Juice Harps? Because, there are the standard model.
Eric, you've given us a great marketing idea. It's going to be a great 2024 after all.
Yeah. I'm just saying. And also, I mean, compared to like the picks and everything and drumsticks, it's a little more daunting if you throw one of those in the crowd.
Yeah.
Snoopy ones.
I mean, kazoos work because you can do plastic kazoos. Juice harps, it's got to be metal for the tonality, right?
Absolutely.
So this is like a whole new thing, like an evolution of Old Crow Medicine Show in the 25th year.
Yes, we will bring the Juice Harp to the people.
Well, speaking of which, we talked about Grammys. And, and I was a little bit blinded when I got here to the studio because there were so many awards in the cabinet. I felt like I needed to put my sunglasses back on. And also, so you've got a Grammy-nominated new album, and Paint This Town, critically acclaimed, but Jubilee, that just came out, this summer. I can't get enough of this album. And once again, you had some nice guests on here, too, including Mavis Staples.
Well, this is our 25th anniversary year and a banner year for Old Crow Medicine Show. This is a record recorded right here on the east side of town on Hart Lane, right off of Dickerson Road, where all the good stuff comes from. And we've chocked it full of special guests. We've got the great Mavis Staples singing on a track. We've got one of our founders, Willie Watson. We've got Sierra Farrell, who's a wonderful singer on the scene today, and a great collection of new music. And a couple of local songs. You were noticing that we've got a song called The Bellmead Cockfight.
Love it. Love
you
that
used
song.
to get into some of the poultry blood sports, right, Eric?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like it's part of the thing. Like you and I were talking earlier, Ketch. It goes with hot chicken. I mean, how else do you end up with hot chicken?
Right.
just
This
saying.
is the result of cockfighting across Middle Tennessee. Friends, Old Crow for 25 years has been in this community, and that means we predate the hoopla about hot chicken,
Right.
and we predate the inability to park downtown.
But speaking of which, you know, and I think you guys have done it so well, and I was thinking about it last night as I was listening to your music and preparing to have you guys on the show, to where also, you know, the band as a whole, with the lyrics and the songs, you bring in political and social activism, but you do it in a way to where with the music, it's like going, wait a minute, what did they just say? And it makes it come across in a better way. Don't you guys feel?
It's a role I think that musicians have here in the 21st century, is to something to crow about. And there's a lot of things that we could talk about, but this has been a powerful year in the headlines in Nashville, Tennessee. And we just want to express to all of your viewers and everybody out there tuned in the solidarity that we feel with our covenant families, and the need that we know exists for some common sense solutions to these terrible acts of gun violence in the U.S., but particularly in our own backyard.
Right.
It's been a heartbreaking experience for Nashville. We've got a new song about it called Louder Than Guns. We've been talking about this hard to talk about subject all across the country, and we just stand in solidarity with those covenant families.
Well, I think also for you guys, you know, living here in Nashville and being a part of the fabric, having children here, and living here as we all do, it hits deeper. And I think also with the songs that you guys bring in, you can tell the honesty of it in the lyrics and the songs that you're bringing forth, because you know what's going on here. And that's certainly different than somebody being outside of Nashville, outside of our bubble, if you want to call it that. And I think it's great that you guys bring that in the songs, but also to where you bring it with great music, and you're like, and so you're listening to it, and then the chorus or one of the verses will say something deeper, and then it really strikes a note.
Well, I think that, you know, country music in specific tends to be about honesty and integrity, and I think that we expect that a lot of our country music artists, and we would love to see our brothers and sisters in country music also speak that honesty. And because we know that we're not the only people who feel this way,
Right.
You know, but not just about gun violence, but about so many subjects. I mean, there's a long history of talking about this in music, because when you're doing it, when you can dance to it and it gets inside you, then that's, you know, it's just such an easier way and such a more palatable way to communicate these really heartfelt ideas that I think that country music really does.
Well, and once again, this album is up for a Grammy also. So we won't know until February, right? But I mean, I've got to ask you guys, listen to the songs. I mean, you know, Wolfman of the Ozarks. I'm sorry, love it. I mean, there's just, I mean, Ballad of Jubilee Jones. I mean, there's so many fun songs. Smoky Mountain Girl, Keel Over and Die, Allegheny Lullaby, probably one of my favorites on here. It's so many great songs. It's like, with 25 years of the Old Crow Medicine Show, how do you guys figure out the set list? Because even when I see you guys on the Opry, it's like, I'm thinking, what do you choose? I mean, you know, because you know what people are going to go, oh, play the hits. But I mean, how do you pick the songs, particularly when you've got a brand new album that is this great?
That's a good question. Let's ask the new guy.
Well, you know, the band has been together for 25 years. I'm 26 years old, so there's this ongoing joke.
So you started when you were one.
That I'm, yeah, like as old as the band is. I've been in the band a little over 2.5 years now. But I was going to say that these new songs, this album, it really has felt like everybody's wanted to get these in the set list, and there's at least, it seems like at least half the songs on the album that are making it into the set list. But this is a band that, you know, I grew up listening to, and everybody wants to hear those hit songs that they listen to. It brings them back to a time and a place for them. For me, it's like, I think of like, you know, a bonfire party with your buddies, you know, or something like that. But the set list spans all these albums, and try to get like at least one song from each one, so you'll get a taste of them all, you know, when you come see the show.
Well, and I think with the hits too, to where it's got to be a great feeling, particularly 25 years in, and with such an accomplished band of musicians, to where the audience is singing back the songs. I know when I was at the Brooklyn Bowl and everyone was singing back the lyrics to you guys, and I mean, you guys are jumping all over the stage and I mean, I couldn't keep up Luckily, I was fully caffeinated. But it's like,
Among other things.
But it's like, but how does that feel when the audiences are coming out and singing your songs back to you?
Like you did it, like you made it, like you're doing a good job.
Right.
That you've gone to work and you've earned that, and yeah, it's a great feeling.
Well, I've got to bring this up too, not to embarrass you guys, but you've been in more than a few documentaries, TV, film, you name it. 25th anniversary. Is it about time for an Old Crow Medicine Show documentary or something that sort of encompasses the body of work?
This is a pretty good idea, man. I like this. We are doing a lot of film and TV nowadays, and that's always fun. But, you know, our heart really goes back to playing, you know, string band music and coming to Nashville like we did in the late 90s to play music on the street corner, staying up here at these cheap motels on Trinity Lane. You know, when you got that stuff in your blood, you never lose it. There's a passion that we feel for this community. And you know, this is where we're from, even though you're the only one from here.
So he can really tell us the story of the hot chicken then.
I can vouch with Catch here that we definitely preceded.
There you go.
And how many area schools are you a dropout of?
Davidson, Rutherford, Cheatham.
Oh yeah, he's one of them Cheatham County dropouts right there.
Look at and new boots also.
New boots. What do you say, man?
This is what a Cheatham County education will get you. Grammy nominated. Tell the folks up in Pleasant View.
Awards. So, you know, besides the year of the Juice Harp, which obviously there will be new merchandise on that, anything else new going on with Old Crow Medicine Show? You guys have the incredible 2 nights at the Ryman Auditorium, an album that everybody needs to buy, and I understand you can also get this on the website, signed, or at the merch tables, right?
Yeah, or at any of our wonderful independent record stores here in Davidson County.
Right.
Like our pals up at Grammy's.
I was just going to bring that up because somebody was recently there buying holiday records.
I can't stop. It's become a tradition at my house because, you know, you can't just keep listening to the same old ones. You got to get some new blood in. And I'm buying records over there all the time and just truly feel grateful to be a part of the family up there. But yeah, I picked up some new ones to spin. I definitely got a Willie Nelson Christmas record that had been on my list for a while. And per Mr. Grimes suggesting himself, I picked up a Ventures Christmas record as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's got to, I mean, with the instrumentals, you know, a little bit of surf guitar and holiday.
Can't go wrong.
Sounds perfect. Well, and I wanted to bring up also the incredible artwork on here, Ketch, to where, you know, I know you've got the full painting up front, but I got to tell you, I'm a fan of the individual paintings of each member of the band.
I hope you guys will get a shot in the segment of our individual portraits. So these were all painted by a wonderful Nashville painter by the name of Noah Satterstrom. And we've found out about Noah's painting skills because he painted the cover of a wonderful Nashville treasure, Ann Patchett. Her one of her most recent novels he painted the cover of. So I said to him, "Oh, I can't believe you're doing these covers, man. Have you ever done an album cover?" He said, "No." And so he put us in front of the Ryman Auditorium here and created this landscape, and we're just really proud of this packaging on our 25th anniversary album Jubilee. I
think this is one of the best. I mean, I've enjoyed them all, but to me, you know, it seems worthy of posters and T-shirts and everything else, to where it's just it catches you guys in your moment. You know what I mean? In live music, because as a string band, as you brought up, you guys are high energy. I mean, just the amount of water and everything, just, you know, preparing, you know, the fanning, you know, on the sides.
Among other liquids.
Whatever it takes, right? I mean, but you guys, I mean, are working it. I mean, it's enough, you know, to be singing and playing, but to move around the stage and work the way you guys do, it's impressive.
Well, you've heard of the steroid era in baseball. This is the string band era in country music.
Well, I want to make sure for our viewers, obviously, you know, there's a few tickets left still for the Ryman shows on December 30th and 31st, which is the 16th anniversary of you guys playing this with the Old Crow Medicine Show, but also for the album, for the incredible merch, for the juice harps, everything else. Website, social media, where do viewers need to go?
Oh, you can find us on all available outlets, I think. CrowMedicine.com, and we're on all the socials under Old Crow Medicine Show. Get tickets now.
And the 25th anniversary tour will continue because I know you guys are playing, I believe, Ann Arbor in January.
Yeah, we're doing some great festivals, getting ready to announce a big tour in the spring and in the summer. So playing overseas, got some really fun shows coming up right here in Middle Tennessee too.
Excellent. Well, I'll tell you what, Old Crow Medicine Show, be sure and get your tickets early for December 30th and 31st at the Ryman Auditorium right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Also, though, the great album Jubilee, custom artwork here, artwork of all the band members. It's just great stuff, and the songs are so good. However you consume music, whether it be through digital streaming or whatever, Jubilee, you need to add this to your playlist. I suggest the vinyl, as I think we're all in agreement, because you're going to hear more of the nuances. It just sounds so good. But thank you all for coming on the Rockin' Review.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations, and hopefully another Grammy.
Happy holidays, everybody. See you at the Ryman.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of a Bobby Bones Show.